the interest to life. When many countries boycotted South Africa to participate in the sporting codes and cultural activities, it was because children were dying. And we would have wanted to host and see those things alive, participate and all of that. But we had to consider that life is being lost. Now, there's a problem of visas in that country, where Bafana themselves who want to play at the highest stage, that highest stage can end up being their death site. Because when they see them there loitering without a game, eyes will come here and then attend to them. So are you not setting them up for death? Because it's not safe, that place. For anyone to go there, it's not safe. Actually, DP, South Africa should be issuing that letter calling on citizens to come back. What do they call it? We know when we are about to have a protest or something, the embassies issue letters and say, no, citizens must be careful. Travel notice. They should be saying, hey, it's not advisable to do what you are trying to do. Yeah, if you go, but you must know that place is dangerous. That place has become extremely dangerous. And we won't encourage that. We are calling for the boycott of World Cup in America and call on SAFA to join in calling for boycott, and the individual players and the legends must call for the boycott, because it's not only about what is happening in America, it's also about what's happening in Palestine, which is directly, without any sugarcoating, sponsored by America. What is happening in Venezuela, the threats on Greenland, the undermining of international law. Any conscious South African will say, especially those in the space of arts and culture and sports, should be able to say we cannot associate ourselves with this kind of things, rightfully so. You know, my brother, coalition partners, in simple terms, is called married partners. So what happens when you are not happy in your marriage? Huh? Did you hear what he said? He said you fight. You see, he wants to promote GBV, you must fight each other. Obviously, when you are married, the first step is not to divorce. You try everything, like we're trying to explain to you. Our MMC gets removed, we get undermined, we try to move this way and that way. Things get to happen without engaging us. We are being shown a middle finger, and we fight. We are pushing. We're taking your weights for it. We do exactly that. We push. But nothing, actually, as you push, things become more worse. They deteriorate. So if it has become so toxic like that, the simplest thing, and for the health of our members and the deployees, is to walk away and let them see to finish. And the founder of the law that governs those things of municipalities anticipated exactly that there will be coalitions, and if coalitions don't find it, parties don't find each other, this thing will collapse, and when it collapses, we go to a rerun. Doesn't mean the municipality is gone. There's no longer a municipality. No. There are options that are there which will be explored to ensure that maybe because citizens have seen what happened, this time around they'll come back with their mind made up and decide to choose a particular party which will govern that municipality. It's not an easy thing, coalition, and I think Panyaza must go and open a college on coalition and teach these people on how coalitions work. Panyaza doesn't look down on anyone, doesn't undermine anyone. Panyaza is forever available for anyone, in particular the parties that are involved in coalition. Hope, the coordinator of the ANC, Hope Pap, was very hostile towards the EFF. And I think his recommendation to Gauteng was on the basis that this guy doesn't want EFF, so he'll go and do the work for us. But Hope, when he arrived in Gauteng and when he interacted with this coalition politics directly now, he became a completely different person. Like, this thing cannot be done in a way these people are suggesting. This is the way you guys have designed it before we arrived here. This is the way to go about it. There's no any other way to have stability if we're not going to do what I found here. And as a result, try this level best to make sure that the parties consult each other and take each other into confidence as in when a move is about to be made. But they've got a very defiant, disrespectful chairperson of Ekurhuleni who see them for nothing. But he should know his days are numbered. His days are numbered. He will go and spend more time with those taxi people that we are told he's friends with in Ekurhuleni more than any other thing. He thinks he's powerful. He will be loitering. Very soon he will be loitering. And he will possibly become a very loyal member of SAB. Because I've seen some of his SAB breweries. I've seen some of his friends behaving, those who came before him, behaving even more mild than what he's doing. And one morning they woke up, they were walking alone. There was no one next to them. He's power drunk. He's suffering from the sins of the incumbency, which is a confirmation that he's not well read. Because if he had read the sins of incumbency, he will not commit the simple mistakes that he's committing, which he will later regret. The ANC must thank Panyaza. This 36% they got, 36 whatever percent, what is it, 34? 36. If it was not Panyaza to engage in those illegal activities of hiring mapanya and lying to people that they must come and take appointment letters at Orlando Stadium, and saying people must send CVs at every civic center, at the last minute, that guy was fighting, doing things out of the box. These ones were heading for 15%, 15, 20%. And then they come and want to undermine a person who rescued them. It's wrong. But they will not see it now. They will see it in the future. And this goes to what you are asking me. Mbalula will not rescue the ANC. But no one of them will rescue the ANC, by the way. No one. Paul will not rescue the ANC. Let's talk candidate. Paul will not rescue the ANC. But at least Paul is approachable, is amenable, until he became deputy president. I don't know what's going to happen if he becomes president. But he was a guy, man. He was a gentleman. He was a person who could talk to, engage, have a nice conversation and find each other. Two things happened to him. I don't know which one got him confused. He became deputy president, then he got married, and then he became something else we didn't know. We don't know. We can't describe it sitting here. What is he thinking now? What does he think? We don't know, really. But from a personal point of view, compared to the power hungry that we see around, the ANC, Paul makes a sober candidate. Sober in a sense that if they were to go into a coalition with the progressives, is the kind of a guy who will be willing to listen and engage other partners. Not that he will make the ANC win elections. They won't win the elections. They're not good. I said to you, where ANC loses, never regains. The ANC lost the metros in 2016. And then from there, it has been going like this. They don't regain. It has been going down. So I don't be threatened by rhetoric that claims they lost elections to 40% now, with Mbalula being the SG. They could not fill up a stadium of 20,000 people with Mbalula being a SG. Now, this year. So how is he going to rescue it? If anything, Northwest is an indicator of what's going to happen. How do you not get 20,000 people? 20. You can even procure 20,000 people. With the money these people have. So it has failed, that thing. Completely out. Patrice Motsepe is a candidate for Cyril. Cyril's people are supporting Patrice. And Patrice's candidate for SG is Ntuli, the chief whip. Mdumseni Ntuli. So I'm bringing Mdumseni Ntuli so that I make your job easy, because I know you can be living here trying to think, what is he talking about now? Mdumseni Ntuli was a candidate for SG for Cyril at the last conference. And Mbalula won against them. He was a candidate against Mbalula. A candidate for Cyril. So Cyril's lineup was Oscar Mabuyane as deputy president and Mdumseni Ntuli as SG. Now, Oscar says he wants to come back. He's going to come back on that lineup of Patrice Motsepe as deputy. And Mdumseni Ntuli will be the Secretary General. And if they lose this conference in 2027, they are going to form a new party, the Patrice Group. That's what is going to happen. So this coalition, you must just be taking exercises for it. You must be ready. It looks like fragmentation is going to happen for a very long time, and we are going to be having to negotiate with all different kinds of political parties. I see, I think there's a crisis there, but, you know, to rely on the IEC actually is suicidal. I think more money now is going into, from the EFF's point of view, into securing an EFF vote. There are facts in the IEC. It's not discrepancy. He's talking nonsense. There are facts in the IEC who work for the ANC, who are from the ANC. So that thing of IEC, it's and that's why they will never agree with election every 5 years. What they did, they created permanent jobs for themselves. Because it's not true that South Africa has got elections every 2 years. No. South Africa has got elections every Wednesday. Because by-elections are held on Wednesdays. It's Wednesday today.
Yes.
I can tell you there is a by-election somewhere. If we live here and you check, there is a by-election somewhere. Yes. Every day, every Wednesday, there is election every week. To keep us distracted, to keep us fighting amongst ourselves, to keep us choosing who's going to be a councillor amongst all of us who are unemployed here, and see that one post as employment. That's what they did. So we need, if Cyril was brave, he should be telling us now, guys, I'm extending the term of the current councillors to 2029. And in 2029, we'll hold one election. And after that election is done, we dissolve the IEC. We dissolve it. Any matter that has got to do with anything related to those issues will go to Home Affairs to deal with those things. Then we choose another IEC a year before the elections. Because those people think they're entitled, they are permanently there, they no longer make an effort, they are not innovative. Up and now I'm still voting the same way my grandmother was voting in 1994. Same way. Is that box, it has got a pen, that pen is held by a wool. Is it a wool or something? A string is held by a string. My grandmother voted like that in 1994. And then you have to be behind the box like this. And then when they say the voting is closed, they can't tell us how many people have voted, which means they were not electrically being captured as casting votes. Casting votes. As you cast votes, there must be a machine that says, once the first voter goes in, the machine on the big screen must say 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. It has to be automatic. It is, when you enter FNB, those gates record how many people entered FNB. As you go in, those gates count. So there at the IEC, when you enter the gate, when you're about to enter the door, not at the IEC, at the voting station, when you're about to enter a door, there is a man here. It's never a woman. It's a man. Who's holding a gadget this size? Pass. What does he do, this one? We don't know. At least after we pass him, we still go the same way my grandmother went. It's a book here, yes? ID. Come on, Malema. Yeah, sure. Hey. What is that one doing with that thing at the door there? What is he doing there at the door with that thing? Why can't they bring electronic things and put them there and then just check my ID number? Yes, bring here. They check. They give it to him. Pass this side. So once my IG get logged in, it reports to the center that passed. So many people have passed. We wait. Not to get the results, to get how many people voted. So you say IEC undermines us, talks about discrimination. Doesn't undermine EFF. It has got no capacity to modify and innovate and live in the era we live in. They don't have capacity. So why can't the IEC make their website free for people who want to check if their names are there? Meaning, if I have data or I don't have data, I must be able to access the IEC website. Make things smooth and user-friendly, because that's what discourages the youth of South Africa. They don't have data. It just got expired as I'm about to capture my ID number. Make life easy for the youth if you want to attract the youth to come and vote. They don't do that. Their technology is so advanced, so extremely advanced. But you take Buma Gogo, Unalamutumala machine, Uzalon. Machine. I got a computer now. Machine. Udobanaga by Guru and Naga says a computer. Computer ground IT. Or yes. Why are we not capturing results at the center? Because if the thing you are using there at the capturing center, we can decentralize it and put it at the voting station. When you are done, you just swipe the result slip, cling, it report to the center. And then the work of the center there, that system, its job, every time EFF numbers come in, it allocates. ANC allocates. Then what must make us stop? It must be on the board there. We must have unverified results. Then you can bring in those auditors and all of that, people who know the IT system to check if there was no tampering and they give it a thumbs up. You now say this is now official results. Why are you scared to do that? You know you do that, the ANC will be out of power in less than a second. It will be out completely. They don't do it because they are protecting the status quo, which operates and wins through thuggery, stealing. So this election, more than anything, we're investing in ensuring that every vote of the EFF is accounted for. If we look at EFF people there and we doubt if they've got the capacity to engage a presiding officer, we'll rather employ people outside the EFF who come for a purpose of employment and monitor EFF results. We'll rather go and look for people who worked for IEC before in that village and all of that, and then bring them in to come and secure an EFF vote. The EFF vote, I can tell you without thinking twice, is stolen. It gets stolen. They stole it in my VD after I waited for 4 hours with my wife on a queue. They didn't have a sympathy. When I left, EFF won the vote. They stole that thing. They don't say, but we waited for 4 hours. Even after I waited for 4 hours, they still steal my votes. That's how much. If they can steal from me my voting station, imagine in Zingi in a village in Guyana. Yeah, it will be worse. Every EFF vote will be counted ANC. And then there is no party agent there. You say, no, we've lost, guys, let's accept. Even if we don't accept, all right, there's nothing we can do because we didn't have a party agent there who can produce material evidence to back up our case. Because we can't just talk. So this time around, we want people who are going to say, no, here's the receipt. This morning we had a meeting with the IT company, which was saying we need to produce an app that is going to be downloaded in each and every party agent. On the day of election, that voter, we must know where that voter is. So that app must be able to report to the operation center when the voter moves. When a party agent moves away from the certain radius of the voting station, it must ring on the thing here, operation center. And then you must receive a call from operation center of the EFF. Uyaphi manje sewulambile or wenzani. Once he realizes I can be seen, they go back. So that's the only way we can secure these elections. We are speaking to the current ruling party in Botswana. They applied that thing of securing the vote because that party that lost has been stealing from them for long. And this year, the previous elections, when they applied the strategy that we're talking about with them, the party lost dismally. Moid Rice and EFF project, Shemai. Self-promotion won't work. And they won't stop anyone from forming a party. People form a party and then cry for toilets. I don't know why they're not crying for water. They cry for toilet, toilet this, toilet, toilet politics. So I don't know what will those ones who are forming a party in Metsima will complain about.